Department with a collector tip is McKeel Haggerty.
I am standing in front of my very favorite car in the world. This is a 1967 275 GTB-4 cam. And this is a very, very special and very, very valuable car. Now, the 275 model Ferrari was built between 1965 and 1967, and there were a lot of iterations. There were 2 cams, 4 cams, alloy bodies. There were a few Spiders built and a few competition cars. And the value variation between all of them can be from hundreds of thousands of dollars to, indeed, millions of dollars in value. And as is the case of almost any collector car where there are a lot of different types of models, it's very important, if you're interested in buying them, to do a lot of research. You have to become a little bit of an expert yourself, or at least very, very knowledgeable in the differences between the 2 or 3 or 4 different iterations, so you don't make a great big mistake. So my recommendation to you, if you're interested in buying a car like a 275, is that you become a little bit of an expert yourself or hire someone to help you, and that you start understanding the little finer points of what each model was through the years of manufacture. So in this case, a 275 GTB-4 cam, it's one of the most valuable cars that Ferrari ever made in the 275 model line, and it's bound to bring an awful lot of money were it to sell at auction. But this is the case of almost any collector car that you'll see where there was a lot of that type of variation. Become a little bit of an expert or hire one yourself and find an unbroken chain of ownership all the way back, ideally with photographic history, so that you can see that it is exactly as it's described all the way back to the beginning. And if you do happen to buy a car like this, be sure to give me a call because I would love to go for a ride.
The thing is, it's a Ferrari, you see, and a Ferrari, like the beautiful woman, he needs a lot of attention.
Don't go. Begins on this track, finds its way into the road cars.
Ferrari's 275 GTB, B for Berlinetta, series of cars first saw the light of day in 1965. It had a short nose to start with, aluminium wheels, but a new 3.3-litre version of Colombo's V12 engine. Well, by 1966, they'd grown a long nose on the car, make it more stable at high speed. And then in 1967, they put in this 3.3-litre 4-cam engine based loosely on the P3 prototype engine, and it really made the car just about as desirable as any Ferrari ever built. It was a sexy-looking machine. You had to rev the engine up and use the gearbox to get it to go, but boy, did they go. You can always tell a 4-cam from a regular 1966 car, which was a twin-cam engine, by this bulge it's got here in the bonnet, or the hood, if you like. And of course, there's 6 twin-choke Weber carburetors under there. So you've got an honest 300 horsepower, excellent torque, a really nice 5-speed gearbox that's held in place with what we call a torque tube. It's a kind of hollow tube that bolts the gearbox to the back of the engine. Some of the 1966 cars had that, not very many. The 4-cams had steel bodies. 1 or 2 of them literally had aluminium bodies. They're very, very rare indeed. This one that RM are selling is a standard stock 1967 4-cam. It's never been restored. It's not got a particularly high mileage on it. There's a few imperfections if you look closely on the body, the chrome. Nothing that can't be cured. It's either the basis for a nice strip and rebuild to concours condition, or, in my opinion, better still, just get in and drive it. It's a real driver, this car, and they are great fun too. They're very, very popular. Nice old cars squealing away without any high speed. They got driven fairly hard from when they were new, and if they haven't been restored, then they'll certainly be showing major age signs. This is a 40-year-old car. Hasn't had a restoration, so it's probably due a major strip and rebuild. I wouldn't expect this car to fetch top dollar by any means. It'd be a nice buy for somebody who owns their own workshops or restoration shop. Do all the work and then turn the car out looking absolutely immaculate with everything refreshed. Make some money.
car is finished in silver with tan leather interior. Same ownership since 1971, I believe. It's been resprayed once and it's showing 39,000 kilometers.
Driving this unrestored 1967 275 GTB-4 was really something of a time warp, really good fun. There were about 330 made, I think. Some of these hand-built cars were even raced on weekends. It's interesting that the body was designed by Pininfarina and assembled by Scaglietti, another wonderful coach builder.
Sold, thank you very much indeed.
That figures to be $753,500. Whatever his plans for the car, the new owner really can't go wrong.